So with all due respect, I disagree. And it's just a fundamental disagreement between us. Does Washington know best about the coverage people should have, or should people have that choice themselves? Pay a little less, get a little less coverage, or pay a little more and get more coverage?
Can I just say that at this point, anytime the question is phrased as, does Washington know better, I think we're kind of tipping the scales a little bit there, since we all know that everybody is angry at Washington right now. I think so it's a good way of framing. It's a good talking point, but it doesn't actually answer the underlying question, which is, do we want to make sure that people have a baseline of protection? And this topic of the insurance market reforms, I think, is a good additional example of what may be philosophical differences, but what we may have in common. Rather than go through the problem, because I think everybody understands out there the issue of people with pre-existing conditions not being able to get insurance, people coming up with, bumping up against lifetime caps and suddenly thinking, as a family I met in Colorado, they thought their child was covered. Suddenly they hit the lifetime cap and they started having to scramble to figure out how they paid the additional costs. We all are familiar with these examples. I just want to go through areas where I think we agree on insurance reforms, or at least some Republicans and some Democrats agree. I think we agree on the notion that you can't just drop somebody if they've already purchased coverage. Looking at your bill, John, the idea that you ban rescissions. We agree on the idea of extending dependent coverage to a certain age. Some people say up to 25, some people say up to 26, but we basically agree on that concept. We agree on no annual or lifetime limits. We agree philosophically that we want to end the prohibition on pre-existing conditions. I think the thing we're going to have to talk about is, how do you actually accomplish that? There may be a disagreement as to whether you can do that without making sure that everybody's covered. But that's something that we can talk about. In addition, though, there are some other insurance reforms that have been proposed by the House and Senate in their legislation that I think we should explore. And maybe we can narrow the gaps there and come up with some even a longer list of areas that we agree on.